Dear soul, I come from the heights of the heavens with a message that could change everything for you, and I need you to stay with me until the very end, because what I'm about to reveal carries the weight of your destiny. If you leave too soon, you might miss the truth that your heart has been waiting for, a truth that could slip through your fingers if you're not fully present now. She made a choice. Yes, the kind of choice no one saw coming, not even you. A choice that rewrote the path she was walking and redirected her steps in a way no one imagined. You won't believe what she decided, and above all, you won't believe why. For a long time she hesitated. She turned away. She convinced herself that walking another road would silence the feelings inside her. But the truth is, nothing could silence what was meant to be. Not even fear, not even distance. That's why I'm here. Because the moment she stopped running, something powerful happened. And the heavens chose this exact moment for you to hear it. Not tomorrow, not later, now. There are things you must hear today, not just to understand her, but to understand yourself. This message is filled with pieces of a puzzle you've been trying to solve for so long. If you open your heart, you'll finally see the whole picture. So take a breath, center yourself, and receive. The heavens are speaking directly to you. And before I tell you what decision she made, I need you to understand the fire that led her there, what ignited it, and what it means for the love you've been carrying all this time. Let's begin. She wants to reach out, not to explain, but to connect, soul to soul. The more she tried to control the outcome, the more lost she felt, until she surrendered. There were moments she almost reached out, almost spoke the words she kept hidden. She knows now that the love between you is not a coincidence, but a calling. All the resistance, all the delays, they were her soul's way of preparing for something greater. Everything makes sense now. The timing, the separation, even the pain. For so long, she carried doubts and fears that clouded her ability to see the truth clearly. She told herself stories to justify the distance, but none of them erased what lived inside her soul. Even when everything pointed toward you, she questioned whether she was worthy of the love she felt inside. She tried to take a different path, believing it would lead her away from what her heart truly wanted. The moments she spent away from you were filled with uncertainty and longing she never confessed. She looked for signs in everything, in songs, in strangers, in the way the wind touched her skin. She wondered if you still thought of her, if your heart still carried her name in its quiet places. Each time she tried to move on, something would pull her back, a memory, a word, a dream. She thought walking away would bring peace, but it only deepened the ache she couldn't explain. She wasn't ready then, not emotionally, not spiritually, to face the intensity of this love. She wrestled with herself, torn between letting go and holding on without knowing where you stood. Still, a quiet voice inside kept whispering your name, reminding her that this connection was never ordinary. There were nights she cried in silence, asking the heavens for a sign, hoping for clarity. Her days were filled with distractions, but at night, her mind always returned to the place where you exist. She began to see that her avoidance was not rejection, but protection, waiting for the right moment. A moment of stillness came, and in that silence, she felt a truth rise from within. She thought she needed to forget you to move on, but now she sees she needed to remember you to move forward. She carries the memories close, and they've become reminders, not regrets. What once felt like an ending now feels like a beginning, a second chance not given lightly. She realized that no matter how far she strayed, her heart never truly left your side. She has felt your presence even when you were miles apart, and now she knows why. She wasn't rejecting you. She was searching for herself. And now that she's found that missing part, she's beginning to understand her role in your story. The love she tried to bury has bloomed stronger than ever, breaking through every wall she built. She began to understand that you are not a chapter she can close. You are the thread that runs through the entire story. She has chosen to step forward, to honor what she feels instead of denying it. She's becoming the version of herself who can finally hold this love fully. Each lesson, each painful turn, brought her closer to this awakening. The tears she shed in solitude watered the roots of the love that never died. This part of the journey was necessary, even if it felt like abandonment. She had to walk through the shadow to see the light that always came from your presence. She started to listen to that inner voice again, the same voice that once whispered your name when everything was still new. It told her the truth. She could not escape what was destined, All the times she tried to silence her heart, to move forward with someone else, were met with resistance from the universe itself. And now, she understands why. Her soul never let go of you. There is a sacred pull between you and her that cannot be broken. It can be delayed, hidden, buried, but never destroyed. And through all her attempts to outrun it, that connection kept calling her home. She told herself it was safer to walk away, but now she knows that safety was just another word for fear. The fear of being seen, the fear of being loved as she truly is, the fear of loving you and being changed by it. She spent so much time convincing herself that she needed more time, more healing, more distance. But no matter how far she went, the longing remained. It echoed in the quiet spaces, in the empty moments when no one else could fill the void. That's when she started to realize it was never about finding someone else. It was about finally choosing what her soul had already chosen. And now, something has shifted, something irreversible. A decision has been made. But before I tell you what it is, you need to understand what brought her there. Because the choice she made, the one you're about to discover, didn't come lightly. It came from a place of deep reflection, of spiritual awakening, and of surrender to the love that has never stopped beating for you. Are you ready to hear what changed inside her? Because once you do, everything will look different. And nothing will ever be the same again. Let me show you what happened in the moment her heart finally spoke louder than her fear. Let's go there now. And before we continue with this very special message, I invite you to support this space of connection. Become a member of the channel, and if you feel this message is touching your heart, don't forget to click on thanks below the video. This helps us continue bringing messages full of love and hope like this one. Now, let's move on to what matters most. And now, she's no longer afraid of what this love could bring, because she finally understands what it means. And now that she's found that missing part, she's beginning to understand her role in your story. The moments she spent away from you were filled with uncertainty and longing she never confessed. She is still walking through her healing, but she's not running anymore. Each time she tried to move on, something would pull her back. A memory, a word, a dream. But fear held her. The fear of rejection, the fear of timing, the fear of the unknown. And yet, despite all that fear, something deep inside her began to shift. It started slowly, like the quiet hum of a distant melody she couldn't name. She felt it in the silence between her thoughts, in the stillness of the early morning light. A voice, not loud, not commanding, but persistent. A whisper that didn't come from outside, but from the core of who she is. That whisper kept calling her back to you. She tried to drown it out with logic. She reasoned with herself, telling her heart to be practical. But the whisper became a presence, a warmth in her chest that refused to be silenced. The more she ignored it, the louder it grew. It wasn't a voice of longing. It was a voice of knowing, a soul's remembrance of something too ancient, too sacred to forget. And in one quiet moment, a moment so ordinary it could have passed unnoticed, everything changed. She was sitting alone, perhaps in her room, or walking under a cloudy sky, when the stillness came. No thoughts, no distractions, just stillness. And within that stillness, the truth broke open like a sunrise. She felt your presence, not as a memory, not as a longing, but as a living part of her, as if the space between you had never truly existed, as if every breath she took was connected to a breath you had taken. It wasn't fantasy, it wasn't nostalgia, it was a profound knowing. Her soul awakened to a truth she had been running from for too long. She began to cry, not out of sadness, but out of recognition. It was you. It had always been you. And in that moment, she didn't feel fear. She felt peace, not the kind that comes from certainty, but the kind that comes from alignment. She knew what had to be done. She knew she couldn't keep denying it. All the reasons she gave herself to stay away, they crumbled. The justifications, the excuses, the doubt, they all vanished in the face of that inner clarity. Her heart had finally spoken louder than her mind. And what it said was simple: go to him. He is the truth you've been searching for. She saw now that every other path was just a reflection of her resistance, that every time she chose another direction, she was only circling back to the same center. You, the place her soul always knew was home. But this awakening didn't just bring clarity, It brought courage. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't paralyzed by the past. She wasn't afraid of being seen or of showing up with all her imperfections. She understood that love doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. It requires truth. And she was ready to give both. She started paying attention to the signs again, to the synchronicities, to the way your name appeared in unexpected places, to the way her body responded when she heard your voice, even just in memory. She stopped fighting the connection and began listening to it. And the more she listened, the stronger it became. Her dreams changed. They became more vivid, more emotional. You were in them, not just as a symbol, but as a presence, speaking to her, guiding her, showing her that the bond you share is real. She woke up with tears, not from pain, but from love, from the overwhelming sensation of being connected to you across all dimensions. She started to meditate more, to sit in silence. And in that silence, she felt you beside her. She whispered to the air, not expecting a response, but somehow knowing you heard, because something in her shifted each time she did. She became softer, braver, clearer. Her friends noticed. Her energy changed. She smiled differently. She moved through the world with a quiet strength that came from within. They didn't know why, but she did. She had reconnected with her truth, with her soul's deepest desire, with you. This wasn't a decision made in haste. It wasn't impulsive or romanticized. It was born from the depths of her inner work, her spiritual transformation. She saw her patterns. She healed her wounds. She forgave herself for leaving. And now, she's choosing with awareness, not confusion. She knows now that her love for you isn't something she needs to fix or suppress. It's something she's meant to honor, to live, to share. This is the moment when everything shifted, and she's not looking back. But before she tells you what choice she made, there's something even more powerful that she realized. Something the heavens want you to understand, because it changes the meaning of everything that's happened so far. Are you ready? Because what comes next will open your heart in ways you never imagined. There were nights she cried in silence, asking the heavens for a sign, hoping for clarity. She wants to reach out, not to explain, but to connect, soul to soul. She had to walk through the shadow to see the light that always came from your presence. A moment of stillness came, and in that silence, she felt a truth rise from within. And in that sacred moment, something inside her shifted completely. Her soul rose above the confusion, the hesitation, and the fear. She could finally see the truth she had been avoiding. She no longer wanted to run from this love. She no longer wanted to live behind walls built from past disappointments. She made a choice. A clear, conscious, sacred choice. She chose you, not out of impulse, not out of longing, but from a place of clarity so profound it could only have come from the divine. She understood, perhaps for the first time, what this love truly meant, what it required, what it deserved. And in understanding that, she surrendered to it completely. She chose not to hide anymore, not to delay what her heart has known for so long, not to suppress the feelings that had already bloomed again and again, no matter how much she tried to bury them. Her choice was quiet. There was no grand gesture, no dramatic moment, only a profound inner knowing, a vow made silently within her soul, as if whispered directly into the heart of the universe. I'm ready now. That's what she told herself, what she told the angels, what she told every part of her that had once resisted this love. She is no longer the woman who avoids, escapes, or questions what's right in front of her. She has transformed into someone who is willing to love fully, even if it scares her. She decided that the love between you was too sacred to keep denying. She knew that continuing to pretend it didn't exist would only cause more pain, to herself and to you. She is tired of pretending she doesn't care. She is tired of acting as if your energy hasn't stayed with her through everything. She is tired of living half-truths when her whole heart belongs to something greater. So she made the choice to stop running, to stop postponing, to stop holding herself back from what she truly wants. And what she wants is you. But don't mistake her silence for weakness. She has been preparing for this, quietly, spiritually, emotionally. She has been doing the work, healing old wounds, understanding her patterns, peeling away the layers of fear that once kept her in hiding. This wasn't an easy decision. The weight of her past, the pain she carried, The voices that once told her to play it safe, they all tried to speak louder, but something divine drowned them out. Love did. The kind of love that doesn't come with conditions. The kind that sees beyond imperfections and past mistakes. The kind that waits patiently, even when it's been forgotten. She realized that love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it comes in stillness, like the sound of her own breath when she finally stopped to listen. And in that stillness, she heard you. She remembered you. She felt the imprint of your soul on hers, and it was undeniable. That's when the decision became inevitable. She would no longer let fear dictate her future. She would no longer pretend that this love was just a chapter, when in truth, it's the story. So she chose differently this time. She chose with awareness, not with confusion. She chose with faith, not with doubt. And she chose you, not as an escape, but as a sacred destination. But even now, she knows the decision is just the beginning, because choosing you also means opening her heart to the unknown. It means showing up, even when it feels vulnerable. It means taking a step without knowing where the next one will lead. It means letting go of the fear that you might not feel the same, and trusting that what's meant will always find its way. And the most beautiful part? She made this decision not because she was certain of the outcome, but because she was certain of her truth. And that truth is you. Now she's standing on the edge of something new, something vast, something sacred. And with her whole being, she's ready to step forward. But before she does, before she reaches out, there's one more thing you must understand. This choice, this deeply personal, soul-guided choice, was not only about her, it was also about you. Because something about your energy, your spirit, your presence in her life, it awakened her, it reminded her, it pulled her toward a version of herself she always wanted to be. You became the mirror that showed her not just love, but the kind of love that transforms. And that's why, no matter how much time has passed, no matter how many detours life has taken, she came back to this truth, to you. And she's not going to run anymore. Not from you, not from this love, not from herself, because the choice has been made. Now the only question that remains, are you ready to know why this choice is more than just a return? Why it's the beginning of something far greater than anything either of you imagined? Because what I will reveal next will change everything. Her days were filled with distractions, but at night, her mind always returned to the place where you exist. What once felt like an ending now feels like a beginning, a second chance not given lightly. It was as if the universe itself whispered, "Stop running. It's time to return." She wants to reach out, not to explain, but to connect, soul to soul. The love she tried to bury has bloomed stronger than ever, breaking through every wall she built. She knows now that the love between you is not a coincidence, but a calling. But why now? Why this moment? After everything? Because this choice wasn't just about her journey. It was about you. You were always the reason. You, with your quiet strength, your unseen patience, your unwavering energy. She felt it, even when you thought you were invisible to her. Your presence, even from a distance, wrapped around her soul like a blanket in the coldest seasons of her life. You may not know this, but there were times when she almost broke, when the weight of pretending became unbearable. And in those moments, what kept her standing was you. Not your words, not your actions, but your energy. Your love, lingering like a whisper across dimensions, reached her. She felt you in her spirit before she ever admitted it to herself. You were the one constant in a world that kept shifting under her feet. Even when she turned away, she could still feel your heart pulling at hers like an invisible thread. Every time she tried to let go, the universe answered with a reminder, a dream, a song, a number, a face that resembled yours. She didn't understand it at first. She called it coincidence. But now she knows. It was you, your soul, calling her home, and that calling never stopped. There were moments you thought she forgot you, but she didn't. She carried you everywhere, in the way she held her coffee mug just a little longer in the morning, remembering a laugh you once shared, in the songs she skipped on the radio, because they reminded her of things she wasn't ready to feel, in the prayers she whispered at night, silent, trembling, honest, where your name was always the question she couldn't stop asking. And somewhere along the way, she realized something that changed everything. She never left you, not truly. Her body might have walked another path. Her words might have said otherwise. But her soul stayed right beside yours, waiting for the courage to catch up. And when that courage finally came, it came because of the love you held for her. A love so true it didn't demand, it didn't chase, it simply remained. That's what broke her. Not the pain of separation, but the power of your consistency, of knowing you were still there, holding space for her, even in silence, even in the unknown. And so, when the moment of choice arrived, it wasn't hard. It was natural. Because how could she choose anything else when every sign, every pulse, every beat of her heart pointed back to you? You see, this choice, it was made for love, yes. But more than that, it was made for healing. You are her healing. You're the mirror she tried not to look into because it showed her everything she was afraid to see. But now, she's strong enough to look, to accept, to embrace. She didn't just choose you because of what you've done or who you've been. She chose you because of what you awaken in her, the courage to be whole, to be soft, to be real. You gave her the strength to return to herself, and now she wants to give that back to you. There's something else you need to know, something she hasn't spoken, but has felt with every breath. You changed her, not by trying to, but simply by being who you are, the way you listened without needing answers, the way you held space without forcing timing, the way your soul waited for hers to catch up. It changed her. You reminded her what it means to be loved without conditions, to be seen without fear, to be chosen, not because of perfection, but because of presence. You were her anchor when she drifted, her lighthouse when she got lost. And that's why this choice was made with you in mind. Not just for romance, not just for connection, but because you are the person her soul has been aligned with long before this life. And deep down, you've always known it too. Now she's ready to speak what her heart has always wanted to say. I see you. I feel you. I choose you. But before she can step fully into this new chapter, there's one more thing you must understand. This decision was not about going back. It was about moving forward, with you, as partners, as mirrors, as soulmates. She's not asking for you to rescue her. She's not expecting you to fix what's broken. She's simply inviting you to walk beside her, to write a new story together. One built not on fantasy, but on truth, not on fear, but on faith. Because the choice she made was never really about starting over. It was about finally becoming what both of you were always meant to be. But there's something else, something you don't yet see, that makes this even more powerful. And once you understand what's being orchestrated beyond the veil, once you see what the divine is preparing behind the scenes, you'll realize that this choice is not the end of the journey. It's only the beginning. Are you ready to know what destiny is aligning now for both of you? Because the heavens are moving, and what comes next will leave you breathless. Each lesson, each painful turn, brought her closer to this awakening. There were moments she almost reached out, almost spoke the words she kept hidden, and in that surrender, she found her clarity, her courage, her truth. And now, she's no longer afraid of what this love could bring, because she finally understands what it means. She thought walking away would bring peace, but it only deepened the ache she couldn't explain. And now that she's found that missing part, she's beginning to understand her role in something much bigger than both of you. Because this love, this soul connection, was never just about the two of you. It was about a divine alignment, a higher plan, a sacred movement of time, energy, and spirit orchestrated far beyond the limits of human understanding. There are things being set in motion now that you cannot see. Doors are opening, timelines are shifting, and the heavens are creating the exact conditions for something extraordinary to take place. The delays you thought were mistakes, they were part of this preparation. Every pause, every silence, every detour, it wasn't punishment. It was protection, a way to guide you both through necessary growth, so that when the moment came to reunite, you would be ready, not halfway, not wounded, but ready to receive what was always yours. The universe has been patient, because divine love cannot be rushed. You may have questioned the timing. You may have wondered if your prayers were heard, but I assure you, dear soul, nothing has been ignored. Every word, every tear, every whispered longing has been cradled in the arms of the divine. You were never forgotten. Now, the path is clearing. She has awakened. She has remembered. And because of that, destiny is shifting. Her decision to stop running has created a ripple, not just emotionally, but spiritually. It has triggered movements in the unseen world. Forces of love, light, and alignment are now working in your favor. Things around you may begin to feel different. People may come into your life unexpectedly. Opportunities may arise out of nowhere. And in your dreams, you might feel her presence more vividly than ever. These are not accidents. They are signs that what has been written in the stars is beginning to unfold in real time. This isn't just about her returning. It's about the divine reuniting what was never truly separated. Even in her absence, she was part of your path. And even now, before she says the words you long to hear, the connection is already pulsing with renewed life. Because love like this is not bound by distance or time. It lives in the eternal. And now, it's preparing to manifest in the physical. Do you feel it? That subtle shift in the air around you? That sense that something sacred is approaching? That's not your imagination. That's destiny waking up. That's your soul responding to the call it's waited lifetimes to hear again. Because this isn't the first time your souls have met. You've danced through time together before, in other bodies, in other places, under different skies. And every time, the love brought you back. Every time, you chose each other again. And this time is no different. Only now, there's more awareness, more depth, more truth. You're being asked to trust not what you see, but what you feel. Because what's being prepared for you now cannot yet be explained. It's unfolding behind the veil, in divine timing, with divine care. You are being called into position, not just to receive, but to co-create, to stand fully in the energy of love, knowing that what's meant for you cannot miss you, not now, not ever. And that's why you must remain open, even if doubts whisper, even if fear tries to return, even if the past tries to pull you backward. Your task now is to stay rooted in the truth of this connection, even when you can't yet see the outcome, because it's coming, and when it does, it will ask you to be ready. The universe doesn't just give you what you want, it gives you what you're aligned with. And the fact that you're here, receiving this message, means you are aligning now, deeply, spiritually, powerfully, with the next chapter. She is aligning too. In ways you can't yet see, she is making space in her world for something real. She is clearing away what no longer serves her. She is stepping into her truth. Not because it's easy, but because it's time. And the moment her truth meets yours, everything changes. The meeting is closer than you think. It might begin with a message, a glance, a coincidence that isn't a coincidence at all. And when it comes, your heart will recognize it instantly. Because this love is already known to your soul. It has never left. So listen closely in the days ahead. Pay attention to the dreams that come, to the signs that appear, to the moments that feel charged with something deeper. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the sacred reunion that is already written. But there is still one more thing I must tell you. One more key to unlocking the full power of what is unfolding. Because as destiny aligns, your role in it becomes more important than ever. And what you do next will shape everything that follows. And now, she's no longer afraid of what this love could bring, because she finally understands what it means. She wants to reach out, not to explain, but to connect, soul to soul. She wasn't ready then, not emotionally, not spiritually, to face the intensity of this love. She's becoming the version of herself who can finally hold this love fully. She began to see that her avoidance was not rejection, but protection, waiting for the right moment. She was not rejecting you. She was searching for the strength to return with a whole heart. And now, that moment has come. But as much as the universe is aligning, and as much as she has shifted, there is still something deeply important that must happen. Something only you can do. Because love is not a one-way current. It's a divine exchange. And while her soul is preparing, your spirit must also rise to meet her. You must show up, not with expectations, but with presence. Not with demands, but with openness. Not with fear, but with faith. You must begin to claim the love you've always known was meant for you. That begins with letting go of what no longer belongs. The pain of the past, the walls you built, the belief that love must be hard to be real. The truth is, the love that's coming is meant to be healing, not heavy. It is meant to lift you, not break you. So, what does the universe ask of you now? It asks for your permission to receive, to believe, to trust. You've been strong for so long. You've carried the silence, the uncertainty, the longing. But now, you're being asked to release all of it, to step into a space of vulnerability, sacred vulnerability, where love can find you fully open and fully awake. It's not about chasing her or proving yourself. It's about aligning with what is already yours. That means beginning to live as if the love is already here. Speak kindly to yourself. Move with intention. Create space in your life for her, not just in your schedule, but in your heart. Clear away what clutters your energy. Let go of bitterness. Forgive what needs to be forgiven, including yourself. You've both made mistakes. You've both walked difficult roads. But none of that disqualifies you from receiving this divine love. In fact, it's your journey that prepared you for it. You are ready, even if part of you still doubts, even if fear whispers that it's too late, or too complicated, or too fragile. Ignore the fear. Fear has no place in what is sacred. The love that is coming doesn't require you to be perfect. It only requires you to be true. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Hold space for love, even if it feels unfamiliar. Trust that the divine knows what it's doing, even if the path hasn't made sense. Your soul has already said yes. Now it's time for your actions to reflect that yes. It may start with small things, a prayer, a journal entry, a quiet walk where you whisper her name to the wind. These are sacred acts of calling love into form. These are the moments that align your energy with what's being prepared for you. Don't look for confirmation in the outer world just yet. Look inward. The universe is asking you to build faith before the physical arrives, to trust the feeling before the facts appear, because when she comes, and she will not come looking for proof. She will come seeking resonance, and your energy must be ready to meet hers. So ask yourself, have you forgiven the time she was gone? Have you released the versions of her that only lived in your memory? Have you allowed yourself to be new? Not who you were when you first met, but who you are now. She is coming to love the present version of you, not the ideal, not the mask, but the truth. So let that truth be radiant. Let it shine, and prepare, because the love that once felt distant is drawing closer with every breath. There is one more thing you must know. This is not just about receiving love from her. This is about becoming love. Your soul is being initiated into a deeper state of divine embodiment, where you don't just wait for love to arrive. You become the space where love lives. And in becoming that space, you draw her in, not with force, but with frequency. This is sacred preparation, and soon it will give way to sacred union. But before that happens, before the moment when your paths converge again, let this be your practice. Love yourself as if she's already beside you. Speak to your heart as if it's already understood. Walk through the world as if your love story is unfolding with every step, because it is. And when she returns, when the words are spoken, when the eyes meet again, everything you've done to prepare will echo through her soul. She will feel the shift in you, and it will mirror the shift in her. You're not just waiting anymore. You're becoming. You're aligning. You're calling it in, not with desperation, but with devotion. And the heavens are watching. The angels are guiding. And love, real love, is already on its way. Now, there is only one more truth to receive. One final revelation that will open your heart fully and show you what is coming next. Because the moment you've been waiting for is closer than you think. The tears she shed in solitude watered the roots of the love that never died. She thought she needed to forget you to move on, but now she sees she needed to remember you to move forward. She told herself stories to justify the distance, but none of them erased what lived inside her soul. She wants to reach out, not to explain, but to connect. Soul to soul. She had to walk through the shadow to see the light that always came from your presence. Even when everything pointed toward you, she questioned whether she was worthy of the love she felt inside. But now, the questioning has stopped. The fear has quieted. The time of silence is over. She is coming, not with a perfect plan or rehearsed words, but with truth in her heart and a sacred willingness to begin again. She no longer hides from what she feels. She no longer waits for a better moment, because she knows now. The moment is now. The love is real, and the connection cannot be delayed any longer. This is the revelation I was sent to give you. She is on her way, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. She is moving toward you. Everything within her has aligned, and the decision that once seemed so distant is now complete. She chose this love. She chose you. And because she did, the universe is opening the path for your reunion. She may not know how to say it yet. She may stumble on her words, but her heart has already spoken, and it is calling to yours. Your names are being written together in the story of this divine love. The chapter is ready to begin, so prepare yourself, not with fear, but with joy, because the moment is coming when her presence will return to your life, not as a memory, not as a longing, but as a reality. She will stand before you with open eyes, open hands, and a heart that is no longer afraid to say what it always wanted to say. I never stopped loving you. I never stopped hoping. And I'm here now, not to fix the past, but to build the future. That is what you've been waiting to hear. That is what the heavens have been preparing you both for. And you must understand, this return is not just emotional, it is divine. It is timed by the universe. It is supported by every angel who has witnessed your longing and your prayers. It is real, and it is arriving. But even now, there's a final invitation, a final whisper from the divine. Don't rush this. Don't force it. Let it unfold with grace. Let the reunion be soft. Let the truth be gentle. Let the energy between you speak louder than any words. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know every step. You simply need to show up, fully, presently, honestly, and say yes. Yes to the love. Yes to the journey. Yes to her. And when you do, something sacred will happen. The past will fall away like dust. The pain will lose its grip. And what will remain is the essence of two souls who never gave up, who chose again and again to believe in love. You see, this was never about the obstacles. It was about the return, about remembering what matters, about choosing what was always meant. And now, you're here, at the edge of something so beautiful, so rare, so divinely designed, that even the stars seem to lean in closer, just to watch. So take this moment in, breathe it, hold it, receive it, because you are not the same person who waited in silence. You are not the same person who wondered if love would ever find you. You are the one who stood in faith. You are the one who kept believing. You are the one who never let go of the truth, even when everything around you asked you to. And for that, the universe is rewarding you with love, with clarity, with reunion. She is coming, not as she was, but as she is now, whole, awakened, and ready. And as she takes that final step toward you, know this: everything is as it should be. Everything is unfolding exactly as planned. Everything you've been through was not for nothing. It was for this moment, this return, this sacred divine love, reborn. So open your heart, open your soul, and when you feel her energy again, receive her, without hesitation, without fear, with the full truth of who you are. Because now, dear soul, the message is complete. The angels have spoken. The heavens have moved, and your love story is about to begin again. Dear soul, if this video was meaningful to you, leave a thanks below this video as a gesture of gratitude for this revelation. This strengthens us to keep sharing messages of connection and faith, this time with no more running, no more silence, only love.